Hello, Evolution members. I'm your host, Bam McGrad, as we are winding down the season here, gentlemen. Uh, like I said before, it's been an absolute pleasure bringing to you all these shows I've brought to you these past 3 seasons. It's been an absolute joy for me to do these for you. Getting into the weeks here, it's getting down to nitty gritty as we are really looking towards the end here. We have some great finishes in the league. Uh, going back from my game. Uh, I played my last 2 games. Uh, which in week 12 I upended Clemson for my first big time win over a top program. The previous years I played Colorado and just got my ass spanked. But the only thing I can say is, hey, beating Clemson is still a top program to me, and pleasure doing that one. 28-14 in that game as I upended Clemson on my home field as we moved on in the season. And then the next week and then I had Utah State, who always plays me tough, no matter where I play them. They just give me an absolute battle, and this game was no different. As kind of rehashing some of the highlights here. Uh, First quarter, I drove down, got a field goal for an early 3-0 lead. That lead held until just about under 2 minutes in the second quarter when Utah State finally got a drive going and drove it down, nailed a 29-yard field goal, tied the thing up 3-3. The only problem was he left me way too much time. I put in literally my 2-minute offense on the next drive and hooked up my fabulous freshman Johnson for 46 yards and a quick touchdown and a 10-3 lead at the half. And then, uh, not to be outdone, Utah State comes back on me, drives it down on the next drive going into the third quarter, and they tie the thing up 10-10. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Uh, and then I drove it down near the end of the third quarter and nailed a 27-yard field goal with my kicker, give me the lead 13-10. And then then I forced them a punt, and then going into the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, I had a drive going, and then caught my other receiver, Lau, with a 10-yard touchdown pass, extended my lead 20-10. My defense held firm the rest of the way. I beat Utah State 20-10 to run my record to 8-4. So tough break, tough game there as I finish on a good note there. Uh, like I said, this year has been kind of interesting for me. Not probably, I mean, still a good year. I had a lot of underclassmen playing in this year uh, as I had pretty much devoured through the other guys the year before, the experienced guys. So this is a very young team going into the Week 13 recaps. RY 2x32, Kansas State. He won the wagon wheel, beating rival Akron 34-23. So great job, RY 2x32. CB24 loses to Ohio 46-21, and so that definitely threw Clinch a serious chink in the armor as he was hoping to move into that next spot in the MAC title game. UAB and ODU 22, or Indy Ballin, as he is known on the forums, he defeated East Carolina 36-29. So great win there. Big Bear 36-14 over CB24's former team. Uh, 36-14. T2 and Rice just barely got past Houston. 48-41. No matter what you deal with Houston, it's what you're going to get. Passing attack. And so that definitely represented that one. The interesting part about this game was that Ross, his backup tailback, carried the load in this game, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. McGuffey only had 2 rushes, 8 yards. My only guess is maybe he was probably injured. That could be the case of what did happen with Rice. So Zickery, Oklahoma State, great year for him. He goes to 10-2. He goes to with a big win over Texas Tech, 51-24. And of course, Saxon Gators 28-18 over Bob Jr. Kansas. A tough game there, but Bob Jr. keeps that. Saxon Gators keeps that undefeated streak there. And then SD 22 beat Nevada 16-0. So quite a game there. As he now gets Idaho. He's already got them bowl eligible and just trying to get them into that bowl picture a little better. So that pretty much ended that week. And then the next week, week 14, we had Bob Jr. defeating UAB in Indy Ballin, 35-28 in overtime. What a game there. Kansas State on way 2 at 32 defeats Ested 22 in Idaho, 34-20. So Kansas State kind of coming alive here near the end of the year. Zickery and Oklahoma State took care of Rice 31-21 in this game. As Rice just didn't quite have enough for the punch there. As let's see who rushed in this one. Still Ross. So my guess is probably correct that McGuffey's probably injured. 79 yards for Ross in the game, 1 touchdown, as he's doing a pretty good job filling in for Sam McGuffey. And then Colorado defeats Colorado State 30-28. Kind of a late game on this one. Normally this game is like first game of the year, but ACE-22 falls to their rivals 30-28. So kind of a shocker there. So and then we really had nobody in the final week. So championship game weekend, we have Rice against, in Conference USA, you have Rice against Saxon Gators. The only thing going for Rice at this point in this game is their passing attack. They're 4th in the nation in passing attack next to Saxon Gators, who is 6th. So that's about the only advantage they've got. Saxon Gators has an absolute fabulous defense. Number 1 in turnovers with 19. They're number 1 in the rankings on that one. Impressive all the way around. What else do you expect from Saxon Gators except their absolute best? But you do have 2 of the most high-scoring offenses going in this game. Saxon Gators averaging 44.6 points per game. They're number 1 in that, with Rice at 37.8, 5th in the nation in that. So it's going to come down to something between these two in the championship game. Saxon Gators has taken the last 2 conference titles, and Rice looking for their first. So it'll be interesting how that goes. Saxon Gators, as I mentioned, has just run the table again, going undefeated. Yeah, he only had 1 loss last year, but no. If he had told me this year that he was going to have a loss, I would not believe him. There's no way in hell this man's going to lose. And then Rice, kind of good year. And they did kind of 2 slip-ups. CB24, Miami University Redhawks. And then they won every game from there, including the game against me, first game of the year. They won every game from there until they slipped up against Zickery. So it'll be interesting to see what goes from there. And big question is right now is how everything will work out. Right now, it's going to be interesting. I have a couple of injuries on my end. 2 of my tailbacks are out right now, and I'm hoping to get at least one of them back for the bowl game. I kind of need the running help. I'm down to only 2. I carry 4. I'm down to 2 right now. So it's going to be interesting right now how that goes. And then I'm hoping to finish strong as the year ends, hopefully on a positive note right now. And Sam McGuffey, he's pretty much done for the year. Senior out for the rest of the year with strained back. That is a tough break for a senior for him. As we look at his numbers, 2010 he had 484 yards, 9 touchdowns, with 481 yards receiving, with 4 receiving touchdowns, and then 550 yards in kick returns, and 269 yards in punt returns. And then the next year, 1,271 rushing, 19 touchdowns. And then this year ends his career at 783, 14 touchdowns, total for a career total of 2,538 career rushing yards for Sam McGuffey, transferred from Michigan, with 42 touchdowns for his career. So, fantastic job there in the rushing department. He had 562 receiving yards his junior year with only 2 touchdowns, and then 448 his senior year with 2 touchdowns for 1,491 in receiving numbers, so not bad there. And then kick returns, he's only kick return in the last 2 years, 550 his junior year, no touchdowns, 467, 1 touchdown this year, 4 kick return, 1,017 for his career. And then in punts, 269 his junior year, 197 with 1 punt return for a touchdown, 466 for his career. So kind of a stellar year for Sam McGuffey, but too bad I had to end with a strained back. So kind of a tough break there as we go along here. So hopefully this game will get played pretty soon. The Conference USA title game, then we'll get into the bowl picture. As yes, the bowl picture is going to get very interesting, as we are looking at several players right now. We're looking at several people possibly could get into the bowl picture right now. Right now, slated, it would be Indy Colt 79, Wyoming against me, Hawaii, in the New Mexico Bowl, if that stays true. And then Colorado State would get Stanford in the Vegas Bowl, Las Vegas Bowl. That would be quite interesting. Right? Indy Bowling would get the Hawaii Bowl coming to my field to get Boise State. And I can tell you, Boise State plays tough on my field. So it should be an interesting battle there. Miami University Redhawks, right now they're slated for the Mikey Car Care Bowl against Clemson. And then NCAA 22, he will get the Humanitarian Bowl. He will go to the Blue Smurf Turf in Boise, Idaho, which would not be far for him either, as he would take on BYU for that for the Humanitarian Bowl. And then San Diego State Big Bear Armed Forces Bowl, he would get East Carolina in that battle. Would be an interesting battle. Liberty Bowl would be Rice and Mississippi State, so that would be a very good game. And right now, South Florida. Yeah, but nobody's controlling South Florida. We're having fun tonight. And then as we move on down, nothing really much going right now. The furthest guy into the rankings right now is Sox and Gators. Right now, he is slated for the Rose Bowl, and he would get Arizona State in that battle. So that would be this would be the furthest that UCF has traveled if they get the Rose Bowl. And right now, I know he's hoping of all hope that there would be some sort of a slip up in the top 25 where Sox could possibly jump into that spot right now. Because looking at the BCS bowl picture right now, you have UCF stuck at number 5, Boston College, West Virginia, Wisconsin, all 2, 3, 4 teams. They would need major help from these guys to lose in order to hopefully slide into that spot. But hope against hope. We'll see what happens. But there would have to be some major slip-ups. Wisconsin is pretty much done for their year, so I don't think they would move any. So that would kind of not be a good thing. West Virginia, and it's pretty much done with theirs. I think they would stay. And then Boston College still has 1 game left. They take on Virginia Tech. So if they lose there, then that may get UCF up to number 4 in the rankings, but I think he's going to be stuck there. So other than that, here's hoping of all hopes here, my friend. I hope you do make it in there, as Oklahoma State is 8th in the BCS polls right now, and then Rice. So 3 users, Wyoming, probably at one point was in there, but they dropped out. But here's hoping on hope that UCF might get that shot, but we'll see what happens here, gentlemen. Have yourselves a great evening. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this season, and I hope you have yourself a great holiday season still.